Alright, what's going on everybody? Today we have one more Playmates set. That's right, Playmates has not just made the City Battle set, they have made a couple of other ones, including some brand new playsets as well for the new Empire figures, which should come after this review, because this came in one of my new orders. As I was ordering the new Empire stuff, I also bought this set as well. Here it is. This is the Hollow Earth set. On the website, it labeled it as story in a box. I mean, it kind of is a story, but it's more like a scenery, if you will. It is this set, the Hollow Earth figures and Diorama sets. It is a much bigger set than the City Battle one. Let's do it. All right, let's take a look at this. This is actually significantly bigger than the City Battle set. It also feels a lot heavier. So I'm expecting a lot more out of this. And I just picked this up last week when I ordered the new Empire stuff, and so I think I paid around $35 for it, which is I think around the same price I paid for the City Battle set. So I think you do get more for your money in this set. I'm just judging it based on the box. I obviously have not seen what's inside yet, so it just felt heavier, and I just thought, wow, this is actually quite, you know, there's some stuff going on here. So let's take a look, shall we? We have a beautiful Hollow Earth setting right here. You have a cave, waterfall, some trees, and you just have Godzilla and Kong about to kill each other. It literally looks like Kong is about to swipe down on Godzilla, and Godzilla is about to blast him. 6-inch exclusive Godzilla and Kong, 5-piece multi-level diorama, over 17 inches tall. I guess that's the cardboard setup is over 17 inches, not the figures. Otherwise, these would be much bigger than the 13-inch, the 13-inch mega figures. Hollow Earth figures and diorama set. We got the Godzilla vs. Kong logo here, and we have this as assembly required. So it's kind of like building Lego, like papercraft. At the bottom here, we have a little list of what is included. So that's pretty nice. It shows you what to expect there. Pretty nice background here. I wonder how long this will actually take me to build. Funny enough, this is a bit interesting. They have the background, or the back of the box, flipped. So as you can see, it's on the side here, but it's fine on this side. But then on the back, boom, you gotta tilt this thing up. Quite ironic, if you ask me. I guess that's one way to show off everything, just to show, oh, the Hollow Earth is actually this tall. So it is 17 inches after all. They also show that you can put Godzilla on the platform on top of the waterfall. I find that a little bit hard to believe, especially if cardboard can hold that weight of that Godzilla figure, then fine, fair play. As you can see here, they have a battle damage reveal. I'm sorry, this is zoomed out quite a bit, but this is the only way to get this box in frame. We have another list here. We have Kong at the cave here. Kong's throne actually includes his throne room. So actually, I have some high hopes for this set. Unlike the City Battle set, the figures actually here look pretty good, but I will have to see for myself when they're actually in my hands. But just from the cardboard cutouts that they're offering here, it looks like there's going to be a lot more to offer compared to the City Battle set. And then we have the synopsis there, and on the side we have the French version of everything in case you want to read it in French. There you go. And then on this side we have just a very nice looking sleeve. Very nice look of the side of the set. So honestly, packaging wise, this set is offering quite a bit just from this, and it feels very heavy. I think I've reiterated that quite a bit. I said this is quite heavy, but because it just feels like I'm getting a lot more out of this set. Without further ado, let's open this box. I'm very excited. Let's dig in. Okay, just like the City Battle set, everything is tucked away nicely in this little cardboard tray. I very much appreciate this. It keeps everything intact and organized. So we have all the cardboard stuff here to create the Hollow Earth setup. All this is contained in this beautiful plastic bag right here. And then we have our 6-inch figures right here. Wow! I was quite harsh on the City Battle sets, but I'm just looking at these figures. Well, I want to say my thoughts when we actually have them completed, just by glancing at these. Enough yappy. Let's take these figures out of the box. Right, now that the figures are all done, it is time to build this thing. Now, the city battle set almost took me 20 whole minutes to get this whole thing built. I'm hoping it will take me shorter here. Hopefully not half an hour. I guess we'll find out. But let's quickly unbox this all together first before I get to start building. So here's the instruction book. I think I should have a clear... Whoa, this is a lot. This is a lot. Great. Fantastic. This is a lot to go through. Oh man, this might take me a while, so the time lapse is going to be absolutely insane on this, but to show you the pieces, there you go. They all just come in these cardboard sheets. So think of it like paper craft. I actually had one of these back in elementary school with the Scholastic orders. I remember I got those Minecraft paper craft sets. Oh, they were fire. They were absolutely fire. They were such good quality. They looked amazing. Oh! This. Oh yeah, this is nice. This is, I believe, is part of Kong's throne room. This is the energy source. As you can see, it's shaped like a mini Godzilla. Pretty nice. And that's where Kong finds the axe. So that's pretty nice. And then, okay, pieces are already coming off. Here's a big sheet. Wow, look at that. There's a lot to offer with this Hollow Earth background. We got some of the vegetation here. Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, maybe this image is a little pixelated. Could be better, but you know what? The graphics are pretty good on this thing. Here's another one. A little bit of a waterfall going on here. And then, yeah, this is just all terrain. Okay, you do get quite a bit for the price you pay. 40 Canadian dollars. There is quite a lot in the set. I honestly want to say there is way more going on here than the city battle sets. I know I'm gonna keep discrediting the city battle set, but like, I'm just looking at these and it's just, the Hollow Earth set just takes it up a notch. I look forward to see the new Empire playsets because obviously they're all Hollow Earth based. So, all right, let's get started with the building, shall we? That actually took 40 minutes, so I was right. It did take me double the time needed to get this thing done. And I actually managed to listen to a full podcast episode while building this together. So that gives you an idea of how long that took. But I appreciate the complexity of it because that's the only way to make everything actually secured and tight. Because the thing with paper is, if you don't fold it enough, it'll just bounce back quite easily. So they have multiple connection points to make sure the structures are really connected together. Now, the city battle set is mostly urban buildings, skyscrapers and all that. What do we have here? Being Hollow Earth, we have a little cave, so a little like mountain setup. As you can see, this thing is super tall, 17 inches they said, and yeah, I had to move the camera quite a bit further back so you can actually see the full scale of this thing. Obviously, a cardboard structure like this can only be done with cardboard, and if you use like plastic bricks or something like Lego, yeah, this is gonna be one very expensive set. So I'm glad it's actually quite tall with cardboard. You know, you're getting paper pretty much. With each structure being secured, you're able to have more durability. Obviously with cardboard, it's very fragile. And they have multiple connection points to make sure no pieces just fly right off, unless you have to actually use strength to actually remove the pieces. Thank God that was not the case here. Everything is actually quietly secured. I would say the most loose part was probably this little bush bit and the two trees. Even the two trees had a little bit of a fancy. You needed two pieces to connect it together to make it so they will stand up on their own. Overall, for this to go alongside your 6-inch Playmates figures, this is actually quite a bit of stuff you get. I can see why the box is quite heavy. I may not have the 13 inches on me at the moment, but I do have the 11-inch Godzilla, and you know how big this figure is. Well, you can't even see it. Hold on. Right here. Let's put him right here. This is how big he is. That is how tall the Hollow Earth structure is. As you can see, it is way, way taller. Now, obviously, I'm comparing a full-on figure to a cardboard structure. It just gives you a sense of scale to what it is. For a kid to play with this, there is so much to offer. Way more stuff to offer than the city battle sets. Now, with the city battle sets, there is only skyscrapers, as I mentioned. With the skyscrapers, it's alright, but there's limited playability you can do with it. You can only put your characters in certain places, and obviously I wanted to recreate the Mecha Godzilla fight with that, so there creates a bit of limitations. Now, we haven't actually seen Godzilla in the Hollow Earth, at least not yet. We'll probably see him in the New Empire, but like as of this set, this scene, this whole setup does not exist in the movie. So, what do you do about it? Well, it's up to your imagination. This opens up so many possibilities that you can do with it. As you can see, I got Kong sitting on his throne right there. Godzilla is just out here enjoying the vegetation while blasting his heat ray. But like, you can see there's like platforms up here, there's a level up here. You can, you know, stick your figures up there. So if you don't want Godzilla down here, you can put up there. I mean, like the box literally, on the back of the box, it had the art of Godzilla just chilling up here. Just chilling up here. My hand's kind of in the way blocking it. I know, let me try to... Here, that's better. There you go. The box literally had him sitting up there. I'm not going to do that because I think the figure is quite heavy. I don't really trust the cardboard being able to hold it really well. We'll take a closer look at the figures momentarily. I just want to talk about just the cardboard buildings as a whole, the cardboard models. I really feel like these need to be appreciated more. Now with the new Empire sets, we're going to get more of the cardboard models, but I think so far from what I've seen here, it looks fantastic. I love it. They look like full-on proper structures, and they look like something that would be versatile provided they don't go near water. They will look something fantastic on display, not just as playability. Imagine putting this on your shelf for display. Oh, you have a beautiful scenery here of just your figures going like... Playmates has done so well where they designed their figures not just as playable toys, but as wonderful collectibles that you can just put up on display and show off. Let's remove the figures for the time being so I can really show you each of the structures in their full glory. Now, what I love about this one in particular, actually let's go over this one. So this is just a regular tree. It comprises of two pieces, as you can see, that are just stacked together like this so they can actually stand up. Plain, but it's good enough for what I think what it's worth. It's a tree, after all. At least the image isn't blurry. I noticed some of these sets, the images can be a little bit blurry sometimes. Luckily, that's not the case here. Alright, and this is the other tree. Kind of a bigger tree, if you will, bigger stem. There's like another bush on the side. So I guess the 4D, they're trying to make it 4D using 2D paper sheets, if that makes any sense. It's interesting. I like how they are able to just add a little bit of minor versatile details to it. They don't do much, but the point of them is just to add a bit to the scenery, almost like decoration, if you will. But unfortunately, as you can see, this is very loose. It just comes off with ease. It's not really secure, unlike the rest of the structures. The trees aren't just that secure, unfortunately, but that's the name of the game. It is cardboard in the end, so It is what it is. This behemoth. 17 inches, they said. Well, I pulled up the Godzilla earlier. Here's another comparison. Here's Mecha Godzilla, the 11-inch one. If your shelf is short, maybe this won't fit. I do like the artistic design of it. It looks fantastic. What you've got there is basically like a little mountain of a waterfall scenery happening. So I think it's pretty dope. Let's give you a closer look at it. So from the ground here, we have a bit of a mountain structure going on here. It's like a mountain pretty much. Then you have some bushes here. These are just some additional pieces that get added later on. You just slap them on the side. And then my favorite part is actually here. You have a little bit of a waterfall situation going on here, which looks very nice. However, it doesn't really sync up well with the palm trees and all that here. It just feels like a little bit out of place. And it would be nice if the floor here was a bit of a river as well. It'll just make a little more sense for the waterfall to be there. And then you have just, you know, a bit of a texture going on here. I like this. This is a great texture part. And then up here is where you have another platform, if you will, or another level. Bit of some rock sticking out, if you will. And I showed you earlier, you can put some other figures on top, and I think if I can find my war bat later on, I can show you. But the box advertises Godzilla on top. You can obviously put Kong on there as well. It's very nice. However, I like the continuity onto this piece, where you have an excellent sunset, sunrise view, which I'm not sure how that's possible in Hollow Earth, but you have a beautiful mountainside view here, and it looks nice. It's one image, and it looks good. It also looks pretty good up top. Now, I'm gonna have to bring this down so you can actually see the top here. Wow, this is where you see the gravity shifts. This is like the fault line where the gravity changes. And right below, you see a beautiful mountain structure. That's a very hard piece to put on, but I love how it adds the texture to the model here. It looks very, very nice. And up here you have some, I guess, you can put vehicles or another monster up here if you really want. But overall, this entire thing looks really good up front. Obviously, this is the underbelly. This is the stuff you don't want people to see. But just like this, as a corner little display, oh man, this looks very, very nice. The pieces were very securely attached, and I like that. I can kind of just hold that by itself and it won't collapse. So this piece looks great. My favorite for sure. Visually and just playability wise, there's a lot of options to offer here. So I would say they've nailed it with this cardboard model. All right, over here is definitely a very cool piece. You know what? I changed my answer. This is my favorite piece, not the other one. This one is. This is Kong's throne. It's big enough that you can actually fit Kong on the throne. Wow, look at that. That is amazing. So an interactive play environment is definitely a very good environment. I think they've nailed it. It's like a cave here, and then obviously I showed you earlier, you got the Godzilla energy source model here going back down. That's how he found his axe. It's covered up a little bit by the throne itself, but it's pretty nice in the end. Also, I love the textures going on up here. You have this like under this ridge of like, I forgot what the terminology is, but in caves you have these rocks just sticking out. It looks very nice. It's like the piece actually connects everything together. It secures the throne and the background very well, but then also it adds a lot of nice visual appeal to it. And up top, you can very well put stuff on it, but you can also see there's like little flaps sticking out just to pretend they are rocks coming out. So I think they've nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. They've done so well with this. Just using cardboard and putting images on it, you've come up with this pretty solid model here. And that's all pretty much I can say. Other than you can put Kong on it. I guess you can put Godzilla on it. Not really. Godzilla can't really fit on it. You can only put Kong on it. I take that back. But there you go. That is Kong's throne room. I would definitely say this is my favorite. So I'll take my answer back. Well, this is more like the last piece, and then we'll look at the figures. This is, I guess, the ridge piece. That's pretty much it. You can fit a monster between it easily. There you go. It looks nice. It's just a cool little entrance
piece, if you will, just like welcome to Hollow Earth, and you're coming through here. Then you can pretend it's the portal. There's nothing on the other side. I kind of wish this was double-sided in terms of the print, just so you can, you know, have it displayed on any side and it wouldn't be an issue. But unfortunately, it's only on one side here, so oh well. They do include these two little pieces here to support it, if you will, just for foundation-wise to keep this thing up. Very solid. They just stick in easily, so this thing is able to stand up on its own without an issue. But other than that, there's not much I can say. I just only wish it was double-sided, then you can actually get the interactive print from both sides. Okay, now for the main event of these things, which is of course the figures themselves. Once again, these are 6-inch figures. Right off the get-go, I want to say this Godzilla 10 times better than the City Battle Godzilla. Here is the City Battle Godzilla, and I just don't think the colors worked well with this. When I looked at it for the first time, I was like, it looks very messy, and it really does. The orange, white, blue, black just don't mix well. This has completely redeemed it. I really like this one. If I can compare this to anyone, it would be the Hong Kong Battle one here. So the Hong Kong Battle one is very colorful, as you can see. Purple, blue, black, but it's a good blend of colors here, and they've done that again with this Hollow Earth Godzilla. It looks so nice. You got a little bit of green, a little bit of turquoise, a little bit of darker green, and it just fades onto the other mold of the figure, which is like the silver with the blue dorsal fins. And this looks so much better because I guess the colors make sense. Hollow Earth wise, the colors just blend in so well, and it's colors that don't clash against each other. Orange and blue do not go well against each other. Sorry, orange and blue go against each other. They don't mix well. So this is pretty well blended. It's the same mold, of course, with the same battle damage and all of that. So there's nothing new going on there. The top, I guess, is really where it's kind of just, you kind of seen this before. This is not really new. Like the color is pretty much the same up here, but the bottom here, this is really where all the colors are. So you can see the color fades from the tail into the main body, which is very nice. You have some shades of green on the legs as well as the arms, and then a little bit on the head as well. It's very subtle though. And then you just have some turquoise running down the middle and through the battle damage piece. It just looks so nice here. Now, articulation is pretty much the same. Obviously, you got the ball socket tail that takes a lot of strength to put on. You have the legs that move back and forth. You know, it's just the same old stuff for the 6-inch Godzilla mold. There we go, it's the same. The head cannot be moved, but the mouth can be open and closed. And of course, it does include the heat ray piece. This, I can tell you right now, is not new. It's an existing heat ray piece, and you just simply stick it in his mouth. There you go, you've seen this before. But I will say, in terms of colors and just the visual design of it, this Godzilla is a lot better than City Destruction. I really like it. I really like it. I think they've really nailed it here. The colors just make sense with the theme of the set being Hollow Earth. Excellent job, Playmates. Just excellent job. Out of 10, I would have to give this Godzilla an 8 out of 10. And I would say maybe include some green up here up top. You know, just add some more here, because otherwise this is just the same as like the Godzilla Radio Tower one. So I would say maybe put some green up here too, just to make this figure a little bit more unique and why it is exclusive to this set. It will be a good justification in my opinion. But other than that, this Godzilla, definitely one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. It's up there in the top 5. I won't rank it now, but this has made it to the top. A very, very well designed Godzilla. We also have Kong next. Now I had Kong in this sitting position because to fit him on the throne. This Kong, I wouldn't say is the best. However, it has the same redeeming qualities as the Godzilla. The colors make sense. Now, Godzilla being green, I think it fits more of him being up on the surface, like the Hollow Earth surface. This Kong feels more like it fits where he's, you know, underground in the cave, sitting on his throne. The cave, after all, has some orange light, so it reflects off his arms pretty well. And I think they've nailed that a lot better. Now, the City Battle Kong is pretty much this, but there was also a little bit of white instead of blue. And I didn't really like that either. So this Kong is definitely nice because there's a little bit of blue emitting off him. That blue, I guess, comes from the battle axe because he is standing over the energy source. So the colors, once again, makes a little bit of sense. I would say the orange may be a little bit too extreme. Like, for example, back here on his head, it's like he dyed his hair orange. It's like he dipped his head in Cheetos or something. Look at that. That is so orange. I feel like that they went a little bit too far over there. But there's a bit of fading with the arms here, and I think that is a good application of orange. They've done all they can. It just looks like Kong just got his hair dyed back here. But articulation is what you expect. It's the same. Obviously, Playmates has nailed articulation really well with Kong, with all their Kong figures. Lots of articulation going on. It's the same ones you expect. Obviously, he's got his axe. The axe is not new. It's a piece you've seen before, so don't expect anything new out of it. And I guess now that I've lifted his arms up, you can actually see other parts of blue. His arms, very blue on the underside and then orange on the outside. So I guess that's a good mix, you know, good contrast. At least the colors aren't really that clashing, which I guess should be the way it's supposed to be. You have one color on the outside, one color on the side, so it just makes a lot more sense instead of having them blend in together. Unlike the City Battle Godzilla. I'm sorry, I just really don't like that one. You got little bits of blue going down here on the body as well, through the chest, and then you have going through the legs as well. So the blue application is very, very well. The orange, I would say, was done a little too much. But other than that, this is a pretty solid Kong figure. This is the same Kong we've gotten many, many times from Playmates. So you have to look at this with the visuals and the colors. And usually colors is what sets these figures different from each other. So this one, would I say is one of the better Kongs? No. I would say the Godzilla is pretty good here, but no, not for Kong. However, it's not terrible. I would take this over to City Battle Kong any day. I think they've nailed it pretty much here. So this Kong, out of 10, I'd say I'll give it a 6. It's a pass. It's a pass for sure. The battle damage is pretty much the same, so you know where it is. No need to show it. There you go. So obviously between Godzilla and Kong here, I would definitely take Kong, but these are two interesting figures. Obviously being exclusive to the set, you won't get them individually, so you're gonna have to get them both. But I would say if I had to pick between those two, obviously Godzilla. But it's a good set of figures here. You're comparing this to the City Battle sets, you get a much better duel here. That's for sure. One more thing before we wrap it up. They do include a little HEAV here. So this is the HEAV. Very nice. It's just your standard HEAV. You've seen that before. It is the same HEAV included in other sets. And the City Battle set also had this. So it's nothing too new about it. But I wish to include a little more because it is Hollow Earth. That's where to bring the HEAVs to. Would have been nice if we got a little more of it. But these are the two figures, Godzilla and Kong. And in terms of 6-inch figures, Godzilla makes it up there. Kong, not so much. But they're not bad. So now, let's wrap up this review once and for all. So overall, my final thoughts for this set, it is actually pretty solid. For 35 Canadian dollars, I would say you are getting the bang for your buck. A regular 6-inch figure on its own is already around $20, $25. This is Canada, so anyone living in the US, don't be alarmed by the prices. But you also get a huge cardboard structure, another pretty good cardboard structure, and a couple extras, and you also get additional vehicles. So $35, I would say it's appropriate for what you get. The Godzilla and Kong themselves, significantly better than the City Battle ones. Kong actually makes sense with his colors because of the environment he's in, and so does Godzilla. And in fact, I already said when I showed these two figures from the two, I much like Godzilla. I actually like this Godzilla's color mix much better than the City Battle one. The colors actually make sense. Turquoise, blue, purple, all that, they mix well together. Unlike City Battle, which is all orange, white, and blue. They just clash and they don't combine well. That's why this Godzilla is a lot better. And I would say this Godzilla is one of the top ones in terms of the 6-inch ones. I think this one gives the Hong Kong Battle one a close competition, pretty much. I just love the colors on it. So I would say if you're gonna get the set, definitely get it for the Godzilla. It's pretty nice. But the Kong's not bad too. But overall, playability-wise, there's a lot of playability going on here. I think a kid will have a fantastic time playing with this, provided I think a parent should probably help them put the structure together, because I realized as I was doing it, you put too much force, you could potentially rip some pieces by accident. So do be careful, and I would say having an adult helping you out would not hurt at all. As for a display factor, I think this works on display. This doesn't have to just be for these two specific figures. You can take any Playmates figures from what they've done. They've made so many, and just add it to there. And keep in mind, there's also a Warbat figure. You can easily add that Warbat figure on it, because after all, the Warbat does belong in Hollow Earth. And of course, I'm talking about this one, the 6-inch Warbat. Well, this is the only Warbat that Playmates has ever done. But if you own this figure, or you want to buy this figure, you can very well add it to the Hollow Earth set. They only appear in the Hollow Earth, and I think the perfect spot to put them in will be up here. Look at that. Perfect. It fits them perfectly. It sits up here. You can recreate the fight between the Warbat and Kong. Boom. Easy as that. There is versatility going on here, and I like that a lot. Now, obviously, Godzilla's never been down here, at least not yet, so it's a good idea, a good glimpse to see what it would be like if he was down here during that time. Overall, out of 10, I would give this set a passable 8 out of 10. It is a fantastic set. I would just say maybe add a little more to the cardboard stuff. I'm sure cardboard isn't that expensive, so it doesn't hurt to add a little more, just to make the $35 feel a little bit more worth it, if you will. Obviously, the Warbat not being included, but if you just look at this model strictly, you can very well have this on a table, on a shelf. I would honestly say a shelf, because the back sides of the cardboard structures do not look the prettiest, so I would say putting it on the shelf would do the trick. And then, just make a whole monster battle. Why not? And if you want, you can sort of recreate the whole scenery. If you put another table up or another shelf up top, you put the city battle set, it will kind of make sense, because obviously this is under the earth. So, I don't know, get creative with it. It gives you the flexibility to get absolutely creative with it. Do what your heart's content. Honestly, there's so much that you can do with the set, and I would say the only downside was the assembly process of it. That really did take a while. Some bits of the cardboard were a bit hard to put together, but ultimately it was fun in the end. It's like building a Lego set. So, without further ado, my final sentence for this is that it is a lot better than the City Battle set. 100%, I much like this set. So much better. But feel free to leave a comment, see if you disagree with me or agree with me. I want to hear what your thoughts on this set is. And that should wrap up all of the previous stuff before we get started with the Godzilla x Kong, the new Empire toys. Very excited to get into them, but this is a great transition, I honestly think. I don't think this is an ending to Godzilla vs. Kong. This is a great transition product, because it's the Hollow Earth, and you have these great monsters who are about to embark on a journey in the Hollow Earth in the new movie. So, a great transition set, if I do say so myself. I think this is a fantastic set to pick up as well when you buy the Godzilla x Kong New Empire stuff. But if you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Especially if you want to see that City Battle set, the link should be in the description, card, or end screen. As for now, hit that like button on this video and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching once again, and we will see you with the first new Empire toy, which I believe should be Kong and Zuko. I'm not sure yet, but it doesn't matter. Either way, we'll see you when I get started on the new figures. We'll see you then.